All right, before we begin, I want to take this time out to apologize to you, the viewing audience. If you happen to be watching this video and you just happen to be eating something, right? And as you're eating something, you see this thing right here on the thumbnail pop up, and you just happen to spit up your food or throw up or gag or whatever like that, seeing this picture, I apologize in advance. All right. Now, the reason why I'm doing this type of video, right? And look, if anybody come my comment section calling me misogynistic like that one buffoon did when I did a previous video on the Kamala Harris autopsy report, your ass getting blocked on sight. I'm not even going to argue with you. I'm not going to go back and forth with you. I was going to block you, bat your ass out of my goddamn stratosphere. All right? Because it's these misandries out here pushing this nonsense and all that. And then when us men clap back, we being misogynistic. Fuck you. That's what I say to that. That's exactly what I say to that. Now, we got the unhinged, the undesirable running their mouth out here because Donald Trump won the election. All right. Now, I picked out this person in particular, but she's not the only one. But she's definitely going to get the smoke with her black gums. DJ, spin that shit.
Donald Trump is president, and I think all women should stop having sex for the next 4 years in protest and protection of your bodies. As we know, if that little baby inside you gives you any trouble and you need an emergency healthcare, you're fucked and you're gonna die. I think that is sufficient enough reason to stop having sex. Don't you agree? This vote wasn't a vote for Americans. This vote was for men. And unless we want to become the handmaid's tale, then us women need to protest because this is some buttery bullshit. I'm sorry to the women and minorities who aren't going to get the help that they need in the next 4 years. I'm sorry for the people who are impoverished who are just going to keep dying from starvation and lack of healthcare and lack of governmental support. People are actually praising this guy, and it's a freaking joke. Look at the states he won. You won't catch me there. You'll catch me in New York City. And I'm sorry to all the women who are going to suffer in these bumpkin ass, small ass little towns because of this. Reason why I'm a New Yorker and always will be. Fuck Florida.
Okay. All right. So, one thing I always tell people, right? The good thing about social media is that everybody has a voice. The bad thing about social media is that everybody has a voice. What's up, Eddie Foster? And when you got this individual here running around here, running her mouth all recklessly and projecting on the men, like men's only responsible for Donald Trump being in office. So, it's Gabby Fied because that's her TikTok handle, right? Let me ask you a question. How do you explain the women who vote for Donald Trump? Because see, that's one thing that people like her and these other unstable, unhinged, undesirable feminists ain't saying. They're not saying nothing about the women out there who vote for Donald Trump. So how do you explain those individuals, huh? Because see, everybody's talking about reproductive rights, but nobody wants to talk about, except there's only one channel I saw that told the whole honest to God truth about the matter, and that is Pink Book Lessons, right? She was the only channel I heard her tell the truth about this thing. Y'all sitting up here worrying about reproductive rights. How about you control who you let inside your body? How about that? How about that? You ever tried that? Right? Well, given how you look, this woman here, I don't even know who the fuck she is. It's Gabby Five. That's her TikTok handle. I know nothing about her. Um, I'm pretty sure there's some other viral nonsense that she spewed out her diarrhea of the mouth, but you should have no problem practicing abstinence. I mean, look how you look. What self-respecting man will actually want to have sex with you, huh? What self-respecting man would want to be bucket naked with you in a dark room on a random night? What man would want to do that? What man would subject himself to that? And then having to live with the fact that he put his beefcake or beef stick or Slim Jim inside you. So now, so we men have to suffer because who you wanted in office didn't get elected, right? So we men have to suffer, right, from all you feminists out there. Well, yeah, I don't want no man talking to me, and I'm gonna hold my goodies for the next 4 years. Like, okay, good. Let me know who you are, right? Because none of us were checking for you in the first place. Let us know who you are, so that way it makes single guys like me and people who think like me have their lives be easier. Make our lives easier. Let us know who you are, right? If you want to withhold your little thought pocket, right? Because I'm pretty sure before Trump got elected, you was an upstanding citizen. You wouldn't give your pussy up, right? No, because you were very selective as to what men you were dealing with and how you were going to deal with them, and even if you were even going to have sex with them, whether it took a minute, whether it took a week, whether it took a month, whether it took a year, right? The fuck out of here. No, you guys don't get to get away with that because, again, at what point personal accountability sets in? At what point? At what point will you be accountable for the decisions you make and you personally, right? Not this deflection and all this projection and all this other stuff like we men have are responsible for what the fuck's going on, right? Because again, none of you feminists out there ain't answering the question of why you have women out there who voted for Donald Trump. Now, Donald Trump is a convicted felon and he's a rapist, and yet you had your fellow contemporaries voted for him. So how do you explain that? Answer that fucking question. Don't go out here and call yourself projecting on to us men like we men are responsible for why Trump's in office, right? And only the men voted for Donald Trump. So no female voted for Donald Trump. Get your ass out of here. Now I can't be too disrespectful, right? I can't be too disrespectful because I don't need some jackass or some dimwit or some fucking simp coming in this bitch calling me misogynistic. Because you do know a lot of women, especially within the Latino community, vote alongside their husband, right? You know, you have a whole lot of white women that vote alongside their husbands, right? So y'all sitting up here telling women who are in relationships or are in marriages to leave their husbands to break up with their boyfriends for what? For what reason? Y'all y'all sitting up here spreading this anti-male rhetoric for what reason? Now, any self-respected person is not going to listen to this nonsense, okay? Because at the end of the day, that's exactly what it is. It's nonsense. If you don't want to give up your pussy, then that's on you, right? But trust me, no self-respecting dude will want to put. Look, you got to be a simp or one of the most desperate men on earth to even want to even entertain a woman like this. I mean, this woman got a fucking mustache for crying out loud. The mustache got her own shadow. I mean, she must have been looking at goddamn on Don't Be a Menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood at that part where Bernie Mac said, I hate my gums because they're black. You got this unattractive silverback primate sitting up here running her goddamn own mouth, man. See, and this really gets on my nerve, man, because again, she's not telling you the truth. Now, as I'm doing this live stream, I had to go, I'm doing this research in real time, right? This woman here a few months ago went viral because she took it upon herself to go on TikTok and to give us dating rules about what places can you take a person, what places can't you take a person on the first date. And you know what? Hey, you know what, lady? Hey, you know the first place I'll take you on the first date? Well, let's first of all, it would be no first date between you and me because you know there's no physical attraction there. But if on the off chance I might be, smoking cocaine embalming fluid, right? And I happen to be that fucking high, right? Again, if I happen to be, snorting some cocaine, and sniffing some cocaine embalming fluid, and I get that fucking high, and that high alters my decision making process to where I saw you at a Target or at a Ross or at a TJ Maxx or some shit, and then in there I came across you, and somehow we exchanged numbers and we ended up on the first date. You know the first place I would take you? I would take you to the zoo. That was the first place we would go at for a first date. We'll go to the zoo, and we'll go to the area where all the chimpanzees and the orangutans and the fucking gorillas be at, right? And then at that point, right, we can sit up there, we can break down these type of primates, right? We can sit up here and talk about those type of primates and maybe, just maybe, how you fell into the gene pool, right? That would be our first date, right? But again, that's fantasy. In reality, there will be no such thing as a first date between you and I. Absolutely the fuck not. But hey, thank you for being honest. Thank you for letting us know where you stand. Because again, it's not our fault that Donald Trump ended up as president, right? When a lot of women out there voted for Donald Trump too. So how do you explain that, miss? How do you explain that? Because see, that's what you ain't saying. And ladies, all the ladies out there, if you're in a relationship, hold on to your relationship. Do not listen to women like this. Do not let women like this, the undesirable, right? The unattractive and the unhinged, corrupt your relationship. Okay? If you're in a good relationship and you got a good man beside you, hold on to that man. Do not listen to feminists like this, because they'll sit up there and y'all sit up there and listen to this woman, and then y'all break up with your man, and guess what? She gets to live her life. She gives a fuck less about what you got going on, right? All the meanwhile, you wishing that you had your man back because you listen to feminists like this. No, stay with your man. Stay with your man. If you got a good man at home, hold on to your man. Do not listen to this crazy ass woman right here. Now again, I'm gonna run it back one more time, just in case you missed on what she said, right? That got people outraged and all that. I'm gonna play it one more time. DJ, spin that shit.
Donald Trump is president, and I think all women should stop having sex for the next 4 years, in protest and protection of your bodies. As we know, if that little baby inside you gives you any trouble and you need an emergency healthcare, you're fucked and you're gonna die. I think that is sufficient enough reason to stop having sex. Don't you agree? This vote wasn't a vote for Americans. This vote was for men. And unless we want to become the handmaid's tale, then us women need to protest, because this is some buttery bullshit. I'm sorry to the women and minorities who aren't going to get the help that they need in the next 4 years. I'm sorry for the people who are impoverished, who are just going to keep dying from starvation and lack of healthcare and lack of governmental support. People are actually praising this guy, and it's a freaking joke. Look at the statesy ones. You won't catch me there. You'll catch me in New York City. And I'm sorry to all the women who are going to suffer in these bumpkin ass, small ass little towns because of this. Reason why I'm a New Yorker and always will be. Fuck Florida.
So if you just happen to be around New York, avoid her at all costs. All right. What's up, Gigi Chillin'? Salute to my sister out in the building. So yeah, man, she's telling y'all that she's gonna be celibate for the next 4 years, right? She not giving up her little thought pocket, right? She trying to keep that under wraps. So any of you men out there calling yourself trying to holler at her, I don't know why would you try to holler at her. Just know, for the next 4 years, right? This little sea lion is gonna be unavailable. Exactly. She could be unavailable, right? Because she's protesting Donald Trump. So let me get this straight. You couldn't do that no other time. You couldn't practice the art of celibacy no other time, right? It had to take Donald Trump getting elected president for you to close up that little thought pocket, right? So you was giving that thing for free, like how they giving our clothes at the Salvation Army, right? That what you trying to tell us? Because again, again, right? You guys are not being honest about the situation here, right? You guys out here living promiscuous lifestyles and all that, and then you want to sit up here and talk about a right to choose and all that. Well, you have a right to choose to make the right decision when it comes to your body, right? Be careful who you lay out with. Right? Y'all sit up here talking about, oh man, what about our right to choose, right? Well, obviously, you didn't like the people who had the right to choose who they wanted to vote for. If they wanted to vote for Donald Trump, that's their right. Who is you to sit up there and talk about what people should not be doing with their vote and all that? You don't want nobody telling you what to do with your body, right? So if you don't want nobody telling you what to do with your body, don't be sitting up here trying to tell people and shame people and guilt trip people just because they voted for the candidate they wanted to vote for. You can't have it both ways. And that's the problem I have with a lot of people out here. They always try to have it both ways, and they always try to massage it and finagle it and try to mold this thing like Play-Doh to fit a narrative that they got. And they want to sit up here and project things on the other people. If a person wanted to vote for Donald Trump, that's their right to choose. Now, I didn't vote for Trump, and I damn sure didn't vote for no goddamn Kamala Harris. Over in these streets, it was Couch 2024. I told y'all, if there was no candidate that was worth getting my vote, they ain't getting my vote. I don't care who it is. But just because y'all have some narrative about, oh, well, it's a woman's right to choose, yeah. But you know, people also had the right to choose who they wanted to vote for. Just because you didn't get the desired result, don't mean you can just go up here on social media, go on this, go big goal. Well, I'm closing my pussy off campaign. Well, good on you. You should have been practicing abstinence to begin with, and given by how you look, it should not be that difficult. What self-respecting man would want to even, boy? So again, you can't have it both ways. You cannot have it both ways. If you want to protect your thought pocket, by all means, do it. Protect your thought pocket. You have all the right in the world to do so. But what you don't get to do and sit up here and tell other people what they should do with their body when you don't want nobody telling you what to do with your body. I mean, who is this? Who is this person here to be qualified of coming out here speaking like she speaks for the collective and all that? Really, yo? But see, if I point this stuff out, some simp or some stupid bitch is going to come in here and call me misogynistic. And then at that point, I'm going to pull out the Louisville Slugger and they're going to get that Ken Griffey Jr. treatment or the Mutombo treatment. Rest in peace to the late, great Dikembe Mutombo. If that was much, if what Donald Trump's rhetoric was that much of a concern, exactly, she should have been protecting her thought pocket at all times. You can't be out here all reckless and shit and then expect people to give you protections and all that. No, like in boxing, you got to protect yourself at all times. Because at what point personal accountability sets in, right? You made the decision to get involved with somebody, and you made the decision to lay out when I'm getting involved with bucket naked growing up undressing sessions, right? That's you. You made that decision. If you make that decision to get bucket naked with somebody, and and then some results come out that maybe a HIV or the KID or whatever else, that's you. You got to live with the consequences for the decisions you make. We got to stop all this finger wagging and gender divide and all that stuff, right? Stop that shit, right? Because the feminist agenda, right? Y'all, you black feminists out there taking up with these white feminists, not realizing that a lot of these feminists or these so-called feminists are going home to their husbands every day. You sitting at home with your cat or your dog or your parakeet and shit. All the meanwhile, the feminists out here pushing this bullshit is going home to their husbands or whatever. You got Beyonce talking about, oh, I'm a single ladies, and she's going home to Jay-Z. You got Ciara sitting up here talking about whatever song is out there promoting single women and promoting strong black female and all that. All the meanwhile, she going home to Russell Wilson. Make it make sense. I get sick of this bullshit from these feminists out here, man. For real. You feminists out here, you be dumb as fuck, and you don't know what the fuck you talking about. Y'all just sit up here just spewing out any kind of old bullshit to get people on your side and all that. If you don't want to fuck nobody, that's on you. Have at it. Play tic-tac-toe. Play Connect 4. Hell, go find a painting of somewhere of a cheeseburger and paint that shit. I don't give a fuck. But what you don't get to do is call yourself trying to project onto us men like we're solely responsible for why 45 is about to become 47. Now, that's all I'm going to say about that. For real. I spent way more time on this ugly hermaphrodite and all the more people that think like her than I really wanted to. But we men is not going to sit back here and take this kind of abuse because Kamala Harris did. Oh, what's up, Susie Q? I ain't seen you in a long time. I missed you. Good to see you. Oh, for those of you who don't know who this is, right? This fool, right? Her name is Gabbyfied. That's her TikTok handle. This was the woman that went viral months ago for putting out requirements for where a man should take a woman on a first date. She running around here with that black shadow around her lips, running around here with black gums and all that, but yet she's out there dating 7-figure men. You dating this woman here sit up here and says she had a 7-figure man. That motherfucker must have been your sugar daddy. He had to be your sugar daddy. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Salute to my sister Susie Q in the building. I miss her. Right? Yeah, it's that fool. Do not listen to people like this woman right here. All right. Do not listen to her. All right. If you really value your relationship, if you really value your marriage and whatnot, do not listen to individuals like this feminut right here, because that's exactly what you are. It's Gabby Fi. You are a feminut, right? You are a monster man. You are a that's right. You are a sea lion. Anyway, sit up here telling us these lies, talking you dated a 7-figure man. What 7-figure boy? Anyway, you guys you guys let me know what y'all think, man. If you're not subscribed to this channel, make sure, hey, someone throw us some fish, will you? If you're not subscribed to this channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, and share these videos on your social media platforms. Shouts out to the LDBC. This your man. Scream at me. Ho!